Because he knows that I've got something in me that's greater than him. And I've got something in me that's greater than you, Charlie. You understand that? Now,
I will, though.
no, you won't.
I'll settle down.
No, no. No, you're gonna leave.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I ain't going nowhere.
Yes, you are.
I'll never leave.
You understand me?
No, I understand what you're saying.
You understand
But you
me?
cannot.
Bobby Mackey's Music World is a well-known nightclub and honky-tonk located by the railway tracks in Wilder, Kentucky, near Cincinnati, Ohio. The establishment is infamous for its reputation as one of the most haunted places in America. The histories and stories associated with Bobby Mackey's have led to its inclusion in numerous paranormal investigations, books, documentaries, and TV shows. The building that now houses Bobby Mackey's Music World has a long and varied history. It was originally built in 1850s and has served various purposes over the years, including as a slaughterhouse, a speakeasy, a casino, and a nightclub. Its history is riddled with tales of violence, tragedy, and mysterious occurrences. We'll start from the beginning. In 1850, where a large slaughterhouse and meatpacking facility was constructed on the site to serve northwestern Kentucky and nearby Cincinnati, Ohio. In the lowest part of the building, as a well was dug for the drainage of blood and guts and the slaughtered animals, which flowed into the nearby Licking River. Some have speculated that satanic cult activity took place in the building around the well. After the slaughterhouse was closed in the 1890s, animals and possibly humans were being slaughtered here for ritualistic purposes during secret meetings. The well and building has been dubbed the gateway to hell for these reasons, and more reasons follow as we dive deeper. One of the most well-known legends associated with Bobby Mackey's is the story of Pearl Bryan. In 1896, Pearl Bryan, a 22-year-old female, made headlines in the region when her corpse was found decapitated in a field less than 2 miles away from the slaughterhouse. At that time, Pearl Bryan was pregnant with then-boyfriend Scott Jackson. Scott urged Pearl to come to Cincinnati to have an abortion. Jackson and roommate Alonzo Walling attempted the abortion by themselves, but to everybody's surprise, the abortion went horribly wrong. So to cover their tracks, they put Pearl's body in the field and decapitated her in hopes, when the body was discovered, she would not be identified. But they made a mistake by leaving her shoes on her feet. The two men would go to the gallows for their crime. While on the gallows, Alonzo Walling vowed to haunt the area forever. Alonzo is just one of the presences that haunt Bobby Mackey's. Pearl's head was never found, but some speculate that Scott Jackson had ties to a satanic cult, so Pearl's head may have been used in a ritual held at the well. In the early 20th century, the slaughterhouse was demolished. The lot sat empty until the 1920s, when a new building was constructed. The new building served as a casino, nightclub, and a speakeasy during the Prohibition years. In 1933, when Prohibition ended, E.A. Buck Brady bought the building and called it the Primrose. More than a decade of success, the casino caught attention of mobsters from Cincinnati. When Brady refused to sell to the mobsters, things escalated with fights and threats in the parking lot until Brady drew a gun on Albert Red Masterson. Brady was charged for attempted murder and left the casino business in 1946. where the building sat until the 1950s. In the 1950s, the building opened up as a nightclub named the Latin Quarter. A dance hall girl and daughter of the nightclub's owner Johanna fell in love with a singer named Robert Randall who performed at the nightclub. Johanna got pregnant with Robert Randall, and both of them planned on running away together. Or at least Johanna wanted to, but her father, the owner of the nightclub, forbade the romance, and with his connections hired a hitman to kill Robert Randall. When Johanna discovered what had happened, she poisoned her father, then took her own life in the basement where the well resides. In 1978, after a series of fatal shootings at the nightclub, the local authorities were forced to close the establishment. In Chapter 4, I went over what happened to Johanna and her lover, while in 1978 a young country music singer purchased the building. The old nightclub, well, his name is Bobby Mackey. Full name is Robert Randall Mackey, which is the same name as Johanna's lover, Robert Randall. Apparently, Bobby Mackey's mother decided to change his name to Robert Randall Mackey after a few days of being born. When Mackey purchased the building, he turned it into a dance and music hall that still stands today as Bobby Mackey's Music World. Although the years of paranormal phenomena have been present, though Bobby Mackey himself is skeptical, he'll admit that he doesn't doubt the word of family members, employees, police officers, and patrons who have experienced strange activity. Both the clergy and psychics have tried to help, but a dark force still seems to linger at Bobby Mackey's. Some claim that Pearl Bryan's ghost haunts the nightclub due to the gruesome circumstances of her death. Historic photos of Pearl Bryan match witnesses' descriptions of a headless ghost dressed in a turn-of-the-century clothing. And photos of Buck Brady also match descriptions of often seen ghosts. Hotspots in the club include the spotlight room, a catwalk over the stage, the well in the basement, the old china room, and the platform area near the kitchen. People have also claimed to see ghosts in a big pitted mirror in the main room. The well to hell, the basement of Bobby Mackey's, is said to be a particularly active area for paranormal activity. According to legend, the nightclub was built on top of an old well that was used for satanic rituals, leading to the name, the Well to Hell. This area is believed to be a portal to the supernatural world, and many eerie occurrences have been reported in the basement. Shadow people. Visitors and staff have reported seeing shadowy figures move around the nightclub, especially in the basement. These shadowy apparitions are often described as unsettling and malevolent. Haunted bathroom. One of the restrooms in the nightclub is rumored to be a hotspot for paranormal activity. Some visitors have reported feeling a cold presence or hearing strange noises while using the bathroom. Phantom music. People have reported hearing faint music and voices when no live performances are taking place. This phantom music is often attributed to the residual energy of the nightclub's history as a music venue. Possession and spiritual attacks. Some individuals claim to have experienced sudden personality changes, feelings of being watched, and even cases of possession or spiritual attacks while inside the building. A former caretaker that lived in the apartment upstairs claimed to have been demonically possessed by the spirits. His exorcism was performed in the club by a minister. EVP recordings. Electronic voice phenomena, or EVP recordings, where ghost voices are supposedly captured on audio equipment, have been reported by paranormal investigators who have visited Bobby Mackey's. Apparitions. Several apparitions have been reported throughout the establishment, including figures dressed in old-fashioned clothing or cowboy attire. A club employee has seen a dark, very angry man behind the bar and a spirit who called herself Johanna. She would often speak to him and leave the scent of roses in her wake. Stairs near the well in the old slaughterhouse have been deemed the stairs that lead to nowhere. Phantom footsteps can often be heard on these stairs. A patron claims to have experienced suffocating heat, a flying trash can, and a man with a handlebar mustache repeating "Die game, die game," Latin for dying well, dying good, in the men's restroom. The club manager claims on several occasions she would go through the club and make sure everything was turned off and closed down for the night. Then hours later she'll find the bar lights were on, the front doors were unlocked, and the jukebox would be playing the anniversary waltz, even though the jukebox was still unplugged and did not contain that song. Bobby's wife claims to have been overcome by the scent of roses in the basement, grabbed around the waist, picked up, thrown down, and pushed downstairs by a force that resembles sketches of Alonzo Wallin screaming, "Get out, get out." She refuses to set foot in the club again. These ghost stories and paranormal experiences have contributed to Bobby Mackey's reputation as a haunted hotspot. The nightclub has been featured in various paranormal TV shows, documentaries, and books, further cementing its status as one of the most haunted places in America. However, it is important to approach these stories with a skeptical mindset, as many of the reported experiences could potentially be influenced by the power of suggestion, the nightclub's eerie atmosphere, and the notorious history.